Welcome to the third cleanest country in the world. Yes, we're here in Switzerland, outside the Jet d'Eau, here in Geneva. So later on in this video, we'll be heading to the cleanest country in the world. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But for now, let's go explore Geneva. Bonjour, good morning from Switzerland. I believe Geneva is a French-speaking Swiss city, as we are literally right next to France and the border literally surrounds Geneva. But yeah, we're here in the third cleanest country in the world and we're going to explore the city. So the time is currently 8:23, so we've got up fairly early today because we've only got one full day of exploring Geneva. We arrived yesterday late at night where we went out for some amazing Swiss food. We had the fondue, we had the rosti, we had some incredible food. Came to about 60 Swiss franc, so it was worth it, it was worth it. We had to experience the traditional local food and that was the best rated place that we went to. So I'll leave all the details for that restaurant in the description because if you're ever in Geneva, definitely go and check out that restaurant. So a travel video isn't a travel video without some additional challenges to complete in a new country that you visit. So here in Switzerland, we've got 4 challenges that we want to complete. Firstly, the main concept of the video is obviously visiting the cleanest country in the world. So one of the challenges is basically try and help keep it clean as a tourist, because that's very important. Obviously, it's got to be done when you visit a new country, a new city, try the traditional and local cuisine. So obviously we had the cheese fondue yesterday, along with the rosti, which is actually the national dish here in Switzerland. So the challenge in Switzerland is going to be to find something expensive, which I don't think will be too difficult. And then obviously to top it off, we've got to visit 3 attractions in Switzerland. So we're at our first attraction here in Geneva, and this is actually a neo-Gothic monument for the 19th century Duke, which is the Brunswick Monument, and it is surrounded by amazing views of the lake and the mountains in the background. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but I'm just crossing the bridge over the lake, and you know, it says this is one of the cleanest countries in the world, and when a lake is this clear, you know, it's actually open for swimming as well. Obviously it's a bit cold right now, but in the summer months this would be amazing. And yeah, like I said, it is really clear, and for a lake normally they're quite dirty and a bit grubby, but Lake Geneva definitely very clean. So the second attraction here in Geneva is this, which is actually one of the largest flower clocks in the world. I believe one of the hands, which is the second hand, is actually the largest in the world. But yeah, this is here all year round, so it obviously is kept and well maintained. But look at this. It's in like a little park bit as well, and yeah, definitely one of the attractions. There's a lot of tourists taking pictures with it. Obviously I'm one of them, taking a video of myself, so can't complain. But yeah, that's 2 out of the 3 attractions already done here in Geneva. So as we've said, Switzerland is the 3rd cleanest country in the world, and their main focus is about waste and reducing the amount of waste. And you know, rubbish on the floor here is actually quite hard to see. Obviously there are bits and bobs around, but for the most part it is very clean. As you can see, we're walking through a park now and we've not seen any rubbish whatsoever. So obviously there's a lot of bins around to make sure of that, but normally there's still stuff left by the benches or around the park, but it's actually spotless. And yeah, it leads to these incredible views. So obviously we're in the city of Geneva and we're focusing on how clean the country or this city is while we're here. And actually Geneva is quite a small populated city here in Switzerland with only 200,000 residents. So a team of 200 employees actually focuses on keeping the city streets of Geneva as well as the parks and around the lake clean. So their job is literally strictly to make sure there's no rubbish, make sure everything's clean, and yeah, this is why it looks absolutely incredible all year round and is definitely one of the cleanest countries in the world. So as we was walking through the shopping street here in Geneva, I think we found the expensive item. So it's actually like a whiskey and cigar shop. It's actually a bottle of whiskey which is 4,800 Swiss franc. I think that's how much it is, because if you look at the other stuff, even like a cigar is 135 Swiss franc, just a single cigar. And just in case that weren't expensive enough, it is actually next door to a Rolex shop. So yeah, absolutely incredible. They're actually not displayed in the window, so I'm not sure whether this is just, it's closed down, or when it's not open, they remove the displays from the window. Not sure, but yeah, Rolex shop next door to that shop. Definitely a luxurious street here in Geneva. So just as I was saying, how clean and how there's no rubbish or waste on the streets, come across this rubbish. As a tourist, it's your responsibility as well to keep a country you visit clean, because at the end of the day, you want to visit these countries as well. So yeah, going to pick this up, put it in the bin, and that's our task done, and keeping the country clean. Obviously, if there's any more stuff that we find on the way, we'll pick it up as well and do what we can. So you're probably thinking I'm just sat on a bench, which, to be honest, I am, but this is actually one of the world's largest benches. I think the largest wooden bench anyway. And it literally stretches, I think it's 120 meters, and gives you some incredible views of Geneva, including the mountain backdrop. And yeah, we've absolutely smashed the attractions in Geneva, saving the best one till last. Operates from 10 o'clock, so we're going to go there right now. So as you can see behind me is the famous jet d'eau here in Geneva. It can actually be seen from all the way in the sky. 33,000 feet this can be seen, and it's actually one of the tallest water fountains in the world. So as you approach closer to the jet d'eau, you actually do feel the mist coming off straight away, and yeah, you can actually get absolutely soaked if you get any closer. Look at this. So these people have literally just ran through. And I don't know if you'll be able to tell on the camera, but just look how powerful that is. And literally, it's just a tiny hose hole literally coming out, and look at the pressure. Come back to the room. We're about to head out again soon, and we're heading on the train up Lake Geneva to another city in Switzerland, and I'm leaving the handle and the microphones here, so the audio and the quality might be reduced, but it'll be worth it when we get to where we're going. But I thought I'll quickly show the room while we're here. So it is actually the Ibis in the Central, and I think it was about £60 a night per person. So as you walk in the door, it's just a twin room, pretty standard, TV, mirror, and then obviously you've got a desk area. This room for £60 a night, if you're looking for somewhere to stay in Geneva, I'll definitely recommend. So we're about to watch Lausanne Sport versus Young Boys in the Swiss League, and every time you go away to a European city, going to a European football match is a must for me. We love the football and we love seeing the European, and now we got Young Boys in town. That sounds a bit dodgy, but yeah, Young Boys are top of the Swiss League, so see how Lausanne Sport can compete against them. It should be a good game. I've looked on their Twitter, and apparently there's been over 10,000 tickets sold, and they only normally average about 5. So it's a big game. The fans have turned up. Let's hope for a big atmosphere and a big performance. Let's get to the stadium. So there's nothing more traditional than getting some local footy scran. So we're inside the stadium now, and we got a hot dog and a Coke, and let me tell you, it's not looking very good. Look at this. It's pretty much just bread with a little hot dog in it, but yeah, 9 francs that was, so about £8, so quite expensive, but that's what you expect from Switzerland. But yeah, we're just gonna eat this, and then the ultras are already getting ready. They've set their flags up, and it's gonna be an amazing game. What a view from a football stadium. Look at that, absolutely incredible. Can't wait for this game to get going. Look at that view. To lose then at half time, completely unexpected against top of the table young boys. What an experience, and I recommend it to anyone when you go traveling, so especially a European country. Definitely check out a football match. Like, incredible atmosphere, incredible experience, and even if you're not into football, you'll probably have a good time. But yeah, the time is currently about 9 o'clock, 9:30. We have to be up at 4 o'clock tomorrow to get the flight to the cleanest country in the world. But yeah, I'll catch ya in the morning. Morning, and the time is currently 4:28. I've already got the notifications. Oh, I need to quickly get up, get ready, get to the airport, and we're heading to the cleanest country, but I wish I could stay in bed. Finally, after an early morning flight, we have arrived in officially the world's cleanest country. Yes, we're in Denmark, and we thought there's no better place to check it out than the capital of Copenhagen. So Denmark has an EPI rating of 77.9, which is incredibly high, and Switzerland and Luxembourg are close behind. So obviously we've been to Switzerland already in this trip. I actually went to Luxembourg as well at the end of last year, and yeah, it's just already when we stepped off the metro to get to the first attraction, which we'll talk about in a sec, they were actually jet washing the metro system, the stairs, and they were cleaning all the underneath. But the main factor in Denmark is different to what was in Geneva, which is about waste. So we'll talk about that later on in the video. But yeah, for now, we're outside the Copenhagen Stadium and the Denmark national team stadium. As usual on this trip, we normally always come to the National Football Stadium. It's just a given because it's always a good starting point, and yeah, they always look incredible. We've just stopped off and got a local Danish hot dog, and when I was looking up at some local traditional food, this was highly rated, and was actually like all the locals are recommending to get a Danish hot dog. I'm not sure what the difference is. Like, I've had the top of the sausage and there's nothing different, but they do the thing where they like cut out the middle of the baguette, and I love that they do this in Europe. It's so much better, but let's try it. Honestly, you can't go wrong with a hot dog. It doesn't taste much different to like a normal hot dog. It seems to have a bit of a spiciness to it, which I don't mind. So yeah, local food ticked off. So yeah, let's keep exploring Copenhagen, but definitely needed this after the stressful morning. We have just come to one of the most iconic sites here in Copenhagen, and I think it's pronounced Nyhavn, something like that, but it's basically the colourful city village on the canal, and it looks absolutely incredible. And it might be quite deceiving with the sun out right now, but it was, I think, -1 this morning. I think it's only meant to increase to about 3-4 degrees, so yeah, it's a cold one here in Copenhagen right now, but yeah, summer months, this would be amazing. Like, imagine sitting and having this for your view outside, having a drink. So one of the most famous Danes is actually Hans Christian Andersen, and obviously he's one of the world famous fairy tale writers, and including the famous The Little Mermaid. So obviously Copenhagen boasts a statue of the Little Mermaid that attracts millions of tourists every year. So obviously the concept of the video was about the cleanest countries, and honestly Copenhagen has absolutely blew me away. Like, in terms of waste, there's nothing. Like, even in Geneva, you know, there was a bit of rubbish now and then, but straight away coming here, everything was getting cleaned as soon as we got off the metro. We found absolutely no rubbish on the floor, like nothing at all. Obviously there's different factors that make this the leading country. So Denmark is one of the leading countries in renewable sources of energy, aiming by 2050 40% of the country's electricity and energy will come from wind power. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see in the background, but Copenhagen is surrounded by these wind farms, and the wind farms in Denmark are very popular, and this is one of the reasons why they are one of the leading countries. Well, what a day exploring the capital of Denmark, Copenhagen, and let me tell you, it was very, very clean. So we've just checked into our hostel and legs are killing. We've done over 20,000 steps already, and the time is like 2 p.m, 3 p.m. We've definitely explored a lot of Copenhagen, and let me tell you, it's definitely the cleanest country I've been to. And yeah, like I said, we've checked into our hostel. So this hostel cost just, I think it was £30 for the night, so it is quite expensive for a hostel, but it does look like we've got a private room. Hopefully no one else checks in. Yeah, so it's just a 4-bed dorm, so we just get these little pods, so just 4 lockers to keep your stuff, and then a little bathroom and a shower. It does the job, and like I said, £30 in the centre of Copenhagen. Definitely, it's called Next House, and yeah, it's definitely a lively hostel. There's a load of games and restaurant and everything that you need. But like I said, we're absolutely knackered, so we're just going to chill here for a bit before we head out for some lunch later on. But yeah, what a day it's been exploring Copenhagen. It is a tradition that when you come to a city that has a Hard Rock Cafe, you have to go and visit. So we're going to head over to the Hard Rock Cafe. I think we're going to grab our dinner from the Hard Rock Cafe. So that'll be a nice end to the trip. And what an amazing 2-3 days it has been, you know. Geneva, Copenhagen, 2 new countries ticked off the list. And yeah, one experience, and it shows how much you can do in just a short amount of time. And yeah, incredible countries, incredible cities, and definitely 2 of the cleanest cities I've ever been to. And we've arrived back at the hostel, and what a few days it has been. And the video might be a bit all over the place, but the main idea of this channel is to show how you can visit many new countries on tight budgets and tight schedules. And I think we've shown once again that if you're willing to do a lot of walking and you're willing to get up early, visit all the attractions, you can definitely see a lot of new countries. So Switzerland and Denmark we have covered in this video, and let me tell you, they are definitely the cleanest countries that I've been to, you know. And obviously we talked about the Denmark wanting to be the leading country for renewable sources, and yeah, the wind farms around Copenhagen as well. So incredible city, I would say. Overall, for things to do, Geneva was just better than Copenhagen, but Copenhagen looked amazing, and you know, when we were on the front earlier. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. So if you enjoyed it, please subscribe, give it a like, and I'll see ya in the next adventure.